Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining in for this week's Golden Nugget. We're going to be talking about selecting text in Word today. And I think everybody knows that you just take the mouse and you click and drag. Well, there's going to be some really cool, simpler, faster ways to do it. Stay tuned. This document is a bigger document. It's about 19 pages long. It's one of my tips and tricks documents that I do. And if I go down to the first page here, I've got some paragraphs. That's what we want to talk about. So we see this paragraph here, this one, do the same to create. I'm going to talk about the different ways to select things within that paragraph. So I've got my little thingy things here turned on that indicate what is a paragraph. If I see, of course, these little guys here, these little backwards P's, that means that that's a paragraph. So I do know that this is a two-line paragraph. Now, if I go up to any of the words, right smack in the middle of a word, and I double click, I get the word. You might have known that one already. I can do lots of things with that. I can hit delete or copy or whatever. If I click away from it to unselect it, now I'm going to go back to that word. It doesn't matter if it's the same one or not. Instead of double clicking, I'm going to triple click. 1, 2, 3. Look what it does. It grabs the whole thing, including the enter. So if I were to copy and paste that somewhere, then it's going to show up as its own paragraph wherever I go. So that was double click to get the word, and triple click to get the paragraph. Now, if you're trying this on your own, it works a little bit different if you're at the very beginning or at the very end. So I always suggest to go somewhere on a word. So in the middle of a word somewhere. So even not at the beginning or the end of a word. All right. Now that was really cool, but your cursor had to be like a little I-beam. So kind of, I'm moving it around here. It's like, it looks kind of like the capital letter I. I'm going to do a few more things here. So I'm going to move my cursor way over to the left-hand side, and I'm going to see that it works just a little bit different. Let's use a different one this time. I'm going to use these because they're only one-liners. So month names, if I try it the other way, 1, 2, 3, I can see it just gets the line. If I triple click on months, 1, 2, 3, it gets the line. These are all just lines. If I wanted to select a whole bunch of them, if I just go to the left-hand side and I click once, it grabs one of them. That's a really fast way to get the whole line. People who don't know about that, and I honestly did this for years, is I would click and drag, and you know what happens? You end up getting too much stuff or not enough. It's like, oh man, I missed that R. So you can go way over to the left-hand side, bam, it just gets that whole thing done. Now, if I wanted a bunch of these, click and drag down. So it goes nicely down all the way. You don't have to worry about going down and to the right. So again, that as opposed to this, drag, 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 drag to the right, to the right. Do I get too much? Do I not get enough? Maybe I missed that enter at the end. That could cause some problems. So that's really nice for just saying, these are the things that I want. So one click, just the line, click and drag, gets a bunch of them. Let's talk about our double clicking. Now I'm going to go down here a little bit more this time. Here is a paragraph. Let's test it out. I'm going to go in the middle of the word recognize and triple click. Takes that whole paragraph. If I'm over here on the left hand side and I click once, it gets that line. Yeah, I guess I could click and drag. But watch what happens here if I double click when I'm over there. Double clicking gets the whole paragraph. So now you know two ways to select the whole paragraph. So one click gets the line, two clicks gets the paragraph, and in this one there's actually a triple click. What do you think that does? 1, 2, 3. That takes the whole document. So all 19 pages are selected right now. That is an amazing one. Some of you might know about Control A. It's the same thing as Control A, but it might just be a little bit easier if your hand happens to be on the mouse. Okay, so we know on the left it does some different things, and when you're in the middle of a word or a sentence or something, it does something else. Now the last one I'll show you is kind of a random one, and this is to select the whole sentence. So in this example, I'm going to say, what if I wanted to grab anything it doesn't recognize, it just repeats it? I would click and drag like this. It's pretty easy, right? Boom. Oh, maybe I got too much. I'll shorten it up. As long as you don't let go of the mouse with your hand, you're okay. Now, this one is going to be a little bit harder. If I go, for example, if I type a 0 and drag it, it fills all the cells. Why is that one harder? Because it goes over 2 lines. It wraps, right? It's like, what do I do here? So I'm going to show you control click. So I'm going to go here in the middle of a word. I'm going to hold my control key down and I'm going to click. Look what that